More minute. My father, Jim Lorimer, who's the founder of the Arnold Sports Festival, will give a quick comment, and hopefully we can take a few questions. But so we just met with the mayor's office and the governor's office, and I think we've come to a fairly good conclusion on how to move this thing forward. And so we just want to report that. So please just give us one more minute. Okay, we'll just move on. So this is Daniel Ketchel, and he is with Governor Schwarzenegger's office. He's a PA for Governor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Governor Schwarzenegger's Chief of Staff, Daniel Ketchel. As you saw yesterday, there have been some very serious conversations regarding the coronavirus and its impact on the Arnold Sports Festival. And after discussing with the mayor and governor's office yesterday afternoon, Governor Schwarzenegger and the Lorimers have decided to cancel the expo. As they said yesterday, the expo will not happen. At this point, we are still speaking to the governor's and mayor's office, but we want athletes to know that they will have the opportunity to compete throughout the weekend. There will be no limitation on athletes competing. We are still discussing attendees with the governor's and mayor's office. We're hopeful that attendees will be able to watch because we know those athletes want their fans in the audience, but we'll let you know about that very soon. We also know that none of these events, should they have spectators, will be anywhere near 4,000 spectators. They're all small events, mainly friends and family, and of course, lots of fans. Thank you very much. I want to turn it over to Mr. Lorimer, the founder of this great show.
I'm sure you're aware that the Arnold Sports Festival is the largest multi-sport event in the world. The Olympic Games are coming up in a few years, or a few months, and in that event, again, they're going to have 30 events and 10,000 athletes. We have 84 events in our weekend, and how many athletes, Bob? 22,000. 22,000 athletes. So we're 2 to 3 times as large as the Olympic Games. We have these Arnold Sports Festivals on 4 other continents. But obviously we've been doing it here for 45 years, and we have built up a lot of momentum. We bring in $54 million a year to the event at this current time, and we're real pleased with the ongoing growth and the cooperation of the governor's office and the mayor's office and the cooperation support of the entire community. And so we keep doing this till we get it right. Okay.
We also want people to know that the vast majority of these athletes competing are children. And 80% of the athletes are coming from the Ohio area, so there's not much to be concerned about, but people should still take the standard precautions. You should be using hand sanitizer. It's not the weekend to be high-fiving or shaking hands. And you need to be very careful with how you're washing your hands, 20 seconds. And all of the athletes flying in are being screened. Every athlete is being screened at check-in. So after talking with the mayor's office and the governor's office, we're taking absolutely every precaution we can. And that's what we want to know, that our biggest priority, and Governor Schwarzenegger said this yesterday, is not making money, it's the people's health. Thank you.
Yes, we have 300 medical doctors on the weekend. Again, with Mount Carmel Hospital is our main protective provider. We're real pleased to have them. They're going to have, as I say, we say 300 medical doctors on place to protect the youngsters and everybody who's participating in the weekend. So we feel very, very confident about the protective measures we set in. Of course, the virus really hasn't hit Ohio. It really hasn't hit the Midwest. But we're just responding to the requests of the governor and the mayor to be very cautious, and which we are, and we think get the best possible team in the country from Mount Carmel to help us with that caution.
I'm very confused. Are spectators allowed at the event?
Yes, yes.
As of right now, yes, we're negotiating that with the mayor's and governor's office.
Okay. So, was the governor wrong yesterday?
I can handle that. Yesterday, we had about 30 minutes to make this decision. We did not have all of the information in front of us. We did not realize that basketball games were still continuing as planned, hockey games are still continuing as planned, other conventions are continuing as planned. So after researching further this morning, we've asked the mayor's and governor's office that we can have spectators.
What have they said?
We're currently talking about that.
So will there be spectators, or is that still something that's being negotiated?
Our plan is to have spectators at the event, barring some type of emergency order.
That is just athletic events, nobody for trade show,
There
nobody
will be
for events.
no trade show. The expo, which is the largest congregator of people, is completely shut down. There will be no booths, no mingling of 100,000 people like people are used to seeing where Governor Schwarzenegger walks through that chaos.
So the hope is through negotiation to have spectators just at those athletic competitions for people of all ages.
Our plan right now is to have spectators unless we are told that we absolutely cannot.
When do you expect to hear from the governor, mayor, and that final decision?
The events start tomorrow morning.
How many athletes were turned away when checking in at the airport?
How many athletes were turned away?
Well, interestingly enough, to our surprise, we're absolutely surprised at how many people that landed in Port Columbus from China and Japan and South Korea. So we turned them away from in here. We turned them back and put them back on the plane. But, you know, the TSA internationally is not stopping these people from coming into the country. So, although, you know, and these people are not registered in the competition at all. They're fans of the sport that have just come here to see the sport. And so, you know, but we are turning these people away at the airport.
How many did you have to turn away?
Well, so far 12.
And is that because they showed symptoms?
Nope, it's because they are coming from China. They came direct from China.
All 12 did?
Yes,
And South Korea.
yes.
What about people who are kind of in limbo right now with their travel plans? What would you tell people who either are wondering if they should get on a plane, wondering if they should drive?
We're telling people that the expo is canceled and that their sport's still happening. So if they're here to follow a particular sport, then some of those athletes might come.
What about the vendors? How is that all being
Well,
handled?
we're handling that internally because again, you know, the hardest and most difficult thing about this is that, you know, again, you know, the preparation of this, because the event of this size takes weeks to put together. It took a year for us to get to this particular point. And again, you know, the reason why we're backtracking on this really to this point is because we already have 10,000 athletes that are already in Columbus. They're here, they're in hotels. To turn them away when they're already here is a travesty. So we did turn the vendors down because we do know that that's the basis of the crowd that comes here, and that's just a social mingle type thing that's in that, and we will turn those away. But again, you know, we have venues, you know, such as Patel Hall. Patel Hall, it's a seated audience. That's our largest crowd that we will have on Friday and Saturday night. It's a 4,000-seat auditorium. It's a ticketed event. Each one of those people have a ticket. But again, when we close the venue, when we close that expo down, 2,000 of those tickets are leaving. So, and that's the reason why we're saying at no point in any sport will be anybody of greater than 2,000 to 3,000.
Will those vendors or exhibitors be eligible for refunds at all?
Yes. Well, we certainly have to work with that. I mean, we have a responsibility to our vendors and our exhibitors and the people that have been loyal to us. So we definitely will, you know, work to accommodate everybody the best we can.
Full refunds, you think, or
Yes.
a deal?
No. I mean, we need to, you know, if I borrow money from you, I'm going to pay you back. So, you know, and again, this isn't their fault, and we're not pushing any blame. So we're going to do our best, you know, because again, look, we've been doing this for 40 years, and you know, this event started with my father and Arnold, and they started this by a handshake. They still have a handshake today. We're good. We're, you know, just, you know, Ohioans are good to our word.
Will there be anything different with the Kids Expo? Does the expo portion remain canceled, but kids can still compete? Can you walk us through that? I know it's a little different than some of the other competitions.
Yeah, the Kids Expo is a little bit different than what's here. And the Kids Expo is what goes on up at the Ohio Expo Center. And again, that was developed in here by us 4 years ago when they shut, or 5 years ago when they shut Veterans Memorial down, because we had many of our bodybuilding and our other events that were over there. So when they shut Veterans Memorial down, we made the decision to just move all the adult sports into the downtown and separate the kids from it. And so when we separated those kids events, that's when, but you know, mainly, if you take the 22,000 athletes that we have here coming into the Columbus market, 18,000 of those are youth, 14 and under, that are participating in those sports. Of those 18,000, I'm going to tell you there's 17,000 that are from Ohio or tri-state area. And anybody else that's coming in, they're just, you know, they're just children that want to compete in gymnastics. And, you know, there's 32 gymnastic events here in Columbus last year. There's 52 gymnastic events. I mean, so there's one every single weekend, either in the, you know, either in Ohio Expo Center and the Columbus Convention Center. So we just followed the same suit with that by having all those youth athletes up there.
We gotta wrap up, but we just want to close by thanking the mayor's office and the governor's office for working with us every step of the way, from the moment they asked us yesterday to consider canceling the expo. They've been all over this, and of course, Governor Schwarzenegger, as governor of California for 7 years, knows all about these crises. We've been through a lot of disasters when he was governor, so we know the challenges they're facing, and we just want to thank them for communicating with us constantly and keeping their lines open, and also looking out for the people's health and safety. Thank you guys very much.
Can we expect an update tonight? Do you guys think? Should we look now for a certain time
Yeah, we'll make announcements on our website.
on the website?
Yes.